time with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
Good morning, children. Good morning, my friend. I hope you have slept well last night. Welcome to MyZone online school. My name is Teacher Mudabeti. Our week's theme, we are going to look at summer. But before we continue with our lesson for today, let us sanitize our hands. We spray right inside our hands. We rub it through, out, between our fingers. Thank you. We have done it. Today's lesson, we are going to look at mathematics. Today's topic, we are going to learn how to count in twos. Alright, we are going to count in twos. We will just end up to 24 and downwards. You can continue alone at home. Alright, what do we do when we count in two? When we are counting in two, we have to know that we skip one number in between. Okay, so when we are starting from the 2. But what do? We skip the first one, the 1, we skip it, we count the 2. And we skip the 3, we count the 4. So let's try this. Let's keep one number and count the rest, the ones that I'll be pointing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Thank you. There, you got it. You have to always keep one number in between, and the next one is the one that you have to count when you are counting in two. So now let's look at page 3 and see what we can do there. Let's open on page 3. We are going to focus on the top exercise for the grade 2. But the grade 3s as well, you are most welcome to listen because you are doing this for your revision to remind yourselves. Okay, so the grade 2s, I would like you to complete the number lines which are given on page 3. Starting with the 2, the first number line, what will be the next number? 4, of course, will be the next number. So then you skip one number, you write in the box, you write in another box, and then you finish that one. You continue with the second number line. They have started on 12. 12 also, we are counting it as we are counting in 2. So continue skipping one number and find out the numbers that are missing in the boxes. Then we are going to continue with the grade 3. The grade 3s, theirs is a bit challenging. But we have learned how to count from 100 up to 200. Therefore, this will not be of a big challenge that you cannot do. I know you can do it. So let's start counting. When we are looking at number 1, what are we counting in? We are counting in twos. Therefore, I would like you to fill in the 2 numbers that they have left out for us. So when you check 120, then we go to 122, then what number should follow? Remember number 2. In number 2, remember we have learned how to count in 5, we have learned how to count in tens, we have revised now how to count in twos. Therefore, before you don't just fill in the counting of 2. You have to first check the numbers that are given to you in order of you number are they counting in, then that will be easy for you. Now let's see number 2. 135, 140, 145. What are they counting in? Are they still counting in 2? No. So find out in which number are they counting in. If they are counting in 5, then continue filling in the 2 numbers. And you continue to number 3. Number 3 is a bit challenging, but they have made it simple for us by giving us the 2 last numbers. Therefore, the 2 last numbers, they will give us a clue in which sequence are they counting in. So check the last number, 192, and then 194. So these people here, they have given us a bit of a thinking. We have to start with a big number, and we are counting. Which number are we counting in? So when we check 192, 194, then we can get our clue there. In which numbers are they counting in? So find out for me, and then write the numbers. You continue with number 4 as well. Number 4, they count 90, then they go to 80, and they will go to which number? Then they give us 60, 50, 40, and they jump one number, they go down to 20. They are counting backwards. But in which number are they counting backwards? Is it still in 2 or in 5? Find out by the numbers that they have given you. And the last one as well, you check the number. Number 5, you start with the last 3 numbers. Number 80, 85, and 90. Are they counting in? They are counting in 2 or in 5 or in 10. Help me. What do you think they are counting in? They are counting from 80, 85, 90. What do you think they are counting in? Oh, the big hand of applause there. And I know even you at home, you can still do it. Thank you very much. 4, we are going to start with the grade 2s. There is a number chart up to 50, but this is so simple. I know my grade 2s can do this since we have already learned how to count. So just fill in the missing numbers there, and then you go to the second activity there under. Just practice writing your number names. Practice writing your number names. You close your eyes and you write the number name and see if you know it. While the grade 2s are busy with their activity, let's go to page 5 for the grade 3s. All right. Grade 3s, we have our table there, and we are counting. They are telling us we are going to count in 5 up to 100. So what we are going to do on the first table, we have to fill in the numbers that we have learned how to count when we are counting in 5. So fill them in. I'm sure this one also is very easy for you since we have learned that. And continue with counting in 10s as well, up to up to 100. You are going to fill in the numbers that are missing there. And I hope you still remember how to count in 10. How do we count in 10? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There you got it. So please just fill in the numbers there. And under there is a challenging one. You are not going to get these numbers anywhere where they are written, but I know for sure that you still remember how to write the number names. So we are going to write the number names from number 11 up to 20. So please try and write them there in the lines. We are going to learn about the even and the odd numbers. I'm sure you still remember what is an odd number and what is an even number, but I'm going to remind you. The even numbers are the numbers that we count when we are counting in 2s. Remember what we said when we are counting in 2? We skip a number and we count the next one. We skip, we count the next one. Those are the numbers that we count in 2, and those are our even numbers. We skip a 1, we count a 2, we skip a 3, we count a 4. So these ones that I'm counting is I'm counting in 2s are my even numbers. Therefore, my odd numbers will be the ones that I'm skipping. Every number that I have skipped is my odd numbers. So a 1 is an odd number. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and we continue. Those are my odd numbers. Don't forget that. So let's go to page 6 and see what exercises are there to do. For the grade 2s, I have an exercise for you. Oh, it's a very simple one. So I would like you to color in for me all the odd numbers in green. Please color all the odd numbers in green. Remember the odd numbers? Yes, you do. And color all the even numbers in blue. Use color blue for the even numbers and color green for the odd numbers. The next exercise is very simple. I would like you to circle, put a round circle around all the numbers which are odd. All the odd numbers, remember what are odd numbers? You skip them when you are counting in 2. Now we can go to page 7. On page 7 is a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to explain to you nicely how you can get to the answer. Let's look at the first example that they have given us. Remember what we have learned when we learned about the place values. We have learned about place values. The first example that they are giving us is a 12. So we are going to break down the number 12. When we are breaking down the number 12, how do we break it down? Remember the place values? A 2, what place value does it have? A 2 is a unit. And the 1 is a tens. So how many tens do we have? How many units do we have? So we have only 1 10. Therefore we write our 10 plus. And how many units? Remember the units are just like that. So the unit is a 2 and it remains a 2. Therefore we write our 2 there. So we have broken down this 12. We have broken it down. So that is how we do it. Now I would like you to do the others and see if you are able to break down the 17 as well. Now do the 17, number 1, and do 22, and do number 3, number 4, and number 5 in the same way. You just have to find out which one is the tens and which one is the unit. Let me try to do for you number 3. As it looks like it's a challenging when the units will change from a 1. What do we do? Okay, number 3 is 35. How do we break down 35? Remember to put the place values. That is a unit and a 3 is a 10. Therefore, how many tens do we have here? We have how many tens? 3. Count the tens. 10. 10 and 10. Therefore, it's a what? A 30. 10, 20, 30. Therefore, you have a 30. Plus, how many units do we have? Remember, the units remains. We don't have to count how many. The same number is a unit. Unit means 1. Therefore, a 5 remains. That is how we have broken down that number. Therefore, now I would like you to do the others which we didn't do. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 5. Please enjoy it. That was the grade 2. The grade 3, please, you can do that. You start with the grade 2 work just to revise and remind yourselves. And so now let's look at your work, grade 3s. Yours is a bit challenging, just a bit. But if you know your place values, it's also not that difficult. So let's do the example that they have given us. Why did they do it that way? I'm going to explain to you. Okay, so they have given us the first one there, the example. So I'm going to do for you number 1. I'm going to do for you number 1 to plus. When you plus, you first break down your numbers and then you get to the answer. It's not that difficult. We have 55 plus 32. So how do we break the number? How do we plus that big number? The first thing we are going to do, we are going to break it down first. So in a 55, remember, we have The place values, don't forget them. Don't forget the place values. So we are going to first add the tens and then we add the units. So we break it down first. 55, that will be 50 plus a 5. And here we are going to have 30 plus a 2. Now we add together the tens first. So we add 50 and 30 first. So the next step is a 50 and a 30. Then we are going to add a 5 and a 2. Yes. Now this will be very easy for us to get to the final answer. 50 plus 30. What will be the answer? It will be 80. And then 5 plus 2. These are units, remember? So plus 7. Now what is our final answer? Now it's very easy when it reaches here because it's just to say 80 plus 7 is equals to 87. So our answer will be 87. I hope you are following all the steps. It's not very difficult, ne? Okay, try the others and see if you can get them in the same way. Thank you. Okay, when we go to page 8, we are going to learn about the multiplication of 2. What do we do when we multiply by 2? Remember, to multiply means repeated addition. You are repeating to add the number. For example, the example that they have given us on page 8, 2 times 1. How do we get to the answer? It is repeated addition. So 2 times 1. How many times should we add a 1? We add it 2 times. Therefore, we say 1 plus 1. So what is the answer? Our answer is 2. So 2 times 1, now we know the answer is 2. Let me give you the second example. If we say 2 times 4, what will be our answer? Don't forget to repeat adding the number. 2 times the 4, meaning the 4 will be added 2 times. So 4 plus 4. What is 4 and 4? You can use your fingers or you can use your counters or the stones, whatever you get in place. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So I would like you to finish all the answers which are in the circle, in the outer circle. Your answers, you must put them nicely in the outer circle. That is the end of our lesson for today. I hope you remember what we have learned today. We have learned how to count. We have learned how to identify the odd numbers and the even numbers. And for now, I would like you to sit nicely at home, relax, and do all your revision of what we have done. Now we are going to sanitize again before we go. Let us sanitize. A nice spray inside of the hand, nice rubbing outside and between the fingers. Nice, that was wonderful. Thank you very much. Now we are going to call our friend Zoshi just to say goodbye.
Hi everyone, I'm Zoshi. And Simon says don't touch your face, your eyes, your nose, and your mouth unless your hands are super clean. Bye!
mabongo siala.
Sokyo sambelaka na bango te baboyiyo.
Telu katombe businessman.
Katonyo sotu bazali ba eklezia ya Yahweh.
Nono mbuyi ya nono.
Sokyo sambelaka na bango te baboyiyo.
Olivier Kisungu, papa na blessing.
Bato nyonso wana mokili oyo balobi bazalinga ba eklezia ya Yahweh. Soki osambelaka na bango te o, bango nyonso balobi baboyo balobi ya Nzambe yeyeye.
Anise Poeti,
Ezali ya Nzambe yeyeyeyeye.
Shamsi Mayuku,
Balobi ya Yahweh.
Jojo Dimacha,
Ezali ya Nzambe yeyeye.
Arnold Dimacha, René Olienge Bouffé, Gomez Kabwebwe, Elia Jimbangu, Carlo Godas Marcel. Restaurant La Marmite, Pasta G. Daniela, Alfanzinga, Papa Lulu Master Speaker Mignon garçon à la démarche Lupengu Pengu.
Bato nyonso wana mokili oyo balobi nde bazali ba eklezia ya Yahweh. Soki ozalaka na bango te o, bango nyonso balobi baboyo balobi ya Yahweh yeyeyeyeye. Ezali ya Nzambe ezali ya papa yeyeyeye. Ezali ya fada yoyoyoyo.
Samio, Batola, well-known guitarist and producer. Yatela biso bazinga, Tozo Bakongo. Vita Kole, Mama na Anika, Ana. Pascal Zagabe, Roger Kuya. Saki Sakondi, ya Mama Mapani. Noëlla Mukolo, le grand gérant. Bébé Chamba, Didier Maluku Lengo. Vieux Hébreu, Sikalangu. Kizito Movali, Mokinai. Jean-Michel, Moussendeka. Nancy Makanda Korando, Petite Sœur et Propre. Yannick Monzanga, Makemi Bafuditi Chano, Oufou Mbampoyi, Coucou de Londres, Lips Restaurant et Clevette.
Win free airtime with hashtag #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. Hashtag #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Amen.
Diabo badran, diwi, di badepken, ay komi, ay nami, sing ay try go. Diabo badran, diwi, di badepken, ay komi, ay nami, sing ay try go.
Thank you, Jesus. Jehovah, ujesu wame, uhiere praise, Lion of Judah, we worship you, my Lord. Our Lord. Diabo badran, diwi, dibadepke, they call me, they nami, sing me try. Diabo badran, diwi, dibadepke, they call me, they nami, sing me try. I don't always understand why certain things happen, but I know God has a plan, and I have to have faith even when things get almost too hard to bear.
I'm feeling so bad because of I have been arrested. We are trying to sell to provide our kids with food, but the police, they come to arrest us.
I was literally apprehended in Independence Avenue. I mean, there was no prior communications with the police or with Bonn or Bang Namibia. These guys literally just apprehended us on surprise.
And when you are talking in a manner that is exaggerated about brutality in this country, I should ask you in which country you live.
Yes, I can confirm that indeed there were 2 cell phones that were found after a search was conducted at the cells that the Fish Road accused us staying.
Do you understand the amount of money that the government has spent on the fight against COVID-19? Could they have spent 300 million on tracing people and managing people? Is that even possible?